This is Vampirella number 4 from 1969 with a really nice cover by Jones and Baudet. The interior artwork is done by, let's read some of the names: William Barry, Jack Sparling, Tom Sutton, David Sinclair. It's a standard artwork. It's nice. Nothing extraordinary about it, nothing captivating. Warren Magazine published Vampirella, Creepy, Eerie, and Famous Monsters, magazines that I enjoyed very much in the late 70s and in the early 80s. Now, there was nothing remarkable about this particular issue except for the cover. But then, 1971, something changed. And you began to see this. There was a new reality and sensuality that came into many of the Warren stories, particularly Vampirella. And you have covers like this by a man named Enrich. Well, he went by. And now when you looked at the artist in the issue, they all had Spanish last names: Aurelion, Aziperi, Durarona, Gonzalez, Maroto, and Ortiz. And this is what you saw in the comic. You had now a new reality into the comic, and a new sensuality came in, even though the stories were a bit fantastic and science fiction. And certainly it captures the 70s in a way that Neil Adams did, and when his work for DC in particular. But for me, this was something even more beautiful than Adams. And the artist for this was a man named Gonzalez. Jose Gonzalez. And when you turn the pages, you have these other artists that come in. Beautiful dark colors. And again, you have this almost cinematic approach to the stories. And for many, discovered the beautiful artwork of Esteban Maroto. Incredible work by him. I've always enjoyed this cover. I mean this panel here. So you had now this influx of Spaniards working on in Warren magazine. And there was definitely a change in the stories, and something that just captivated you. And for a while I wondered who these people were. I mean, and there hadn't been, to my knowledge, a publication that had something that revealed about at least a little bit of who these artists were until now. And we get this: Masters of Spanish Comic Book Art by David Roach. And who is profiled here? Many of the artists who worked on Warren magazine. There's some of them here: Aurelion, Bea Bermejo, Enrich, Fernandez, Jose Gonzalez, Esteban Maroto, Felix Mas, Miralles, Ortiz, San Julian. It's a nice little book, and the first few pages, you have an introduction by David Roach, who I don't know who he is. You have Beginnings, the early work by Spanish artists in Europe. Then you have the agencies that help promote their work in Europe and eventually in the US. Then you have the Spanish invading Britain. Comics for Girls, the birth of the new, and you see that now, something we're so used to from the 70s. At least my generation and the one before us. It was just part of our life. But this is, again, it's something I just kept emphasizing. This is a reality to the artwork. And then the USA, when the artist came here. San Julian, the artist here for Vampirella. San Julian again for 1984, another Warren publication. And Europe and beyond. Now the book does not have a table of contents, and it just chapter 11 is just the artist gallery, and it's in alphabetical order. And I have used sticky notes just to highlight some of the artists that I like. The first begins with Vicente Alcazar. Again, this is work from Marvel Preview. Sorry about the glare. Going to jump here to Enrich, who we saw many of his covers a little while ago, but his full name is Enrich Torres Prat. He was in Barcelona, and I noticed many of these artists, the ones that I particularly like, happen to be from Barcelona. Look at that, absolutely beautiful, I think. And this is Alfonso Font. When I saw this, I think some artists now that I see in some of the independent comics have this sort of style in their comic, which is a little bit comical, but still filled with a lot of detail in the artwork. Let's see, now we have Luis Garcia Mozos. This is Rambla, which is, I think it's a Spanish magazine. And again, I just enjoy this. This in black and white. This is just very beautiful because you see the shades of it, and it almost like a faded photograph. Some of these pieces here. Oh yes, and here we have Jose Gonzalez, another man from Barcelona. And according to this, when Warren saw his portfolio, if I'm correct, he was on the way to a date, but an agent for Pepe Gonzalez said, you have to see this man's work, and he broke the date. And Warren saw it. This is 1971, and he realized this is the direction he wanted, not just Vampirella, but for Warren, for his other publications to go. This is the artwork that he liked by Gonzalez. Now this is not obviously work for Warren magazine, but this is it here. Oh, this is really nice here. By Enrique Montserrat. And and covers that they did for other magazines and that. I think these are for novels, paperback novels for that time. Just trying to move away from the glare again. I apologize for this. Oh, that's quite beautiful here. By Albert Pujolar Soler. Notably this one here. This one's nice. Oh, I think I passed Maroto. Kevin Maroto. They don't show as much of his work here. I was a little bit surprised by that. Here we go. There's Maroto there. It says here that at age 5 he was orphaned. He studied to be an engineer, but comics was his passion. Made me think of Guido Kripax, who studied architecture, but decided to be an artist instead. And here's Maroto's work for various Warren publications, and here is just other stuff by him. Horrible glare. I have to get new lamps. This is Felix Mas. And again, you get a little biography of him. Now, not all of the artists have this biography. Some of them just have a page and it says who they are. Here's some of Mas' black and white work. Those cat-like eyes. I guess you can say was just part of Warren magazine from the 70s about the Spanish artist. The eyes was a consistency with the way they draw women with their own eyes, which for me I just can't get enough of. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Look at this here. I think it's Jose Maria Miralles. I think. Hopefully I get this right. Look at that. It's beautiful work. Let's see. And then we get Don Julian, who did a lot of covers for Vampirella and other Warren magazine. This is from Erie. And then he did some of the paperbacks that he worked on. This is someone named Enrich. Now the book concludes with reference to contemporary Spanish artists, many of whom have come to the States to work. And one of whom I didn't know was from Spain, and that's Guillem March. Right there, good old Guillem March, I think that's how I say his name. Who we know from Gotham City Sirens, and I think he worked on Catwoman as well. But the interior and the covers for many of these books just very beautiful. And it also talks about David Aja from Hawkeye. Well, it made him. I think Hawkeye is the one that made him famous in the States. And Emma Rios, the artist for Pretty Deadly, is also referenced here. It's a good reference book to have. I did enjoy it. I would like it to have had more extensive biographies of the writers, but for now, I think it's a good start. And I ordered it from Amazon, and it was not very expensive. Well, I apologize for the glare, but I'm grateful that those of you that stuck around. Happy reading.